Hey guys, welcome to my channel. So my name is Sam and today's video is something that I'm super excited about. It was requested by a couple of my subscribers and basically it's how to stop impulse buying, because we find with minimalism sometimes the problem is not necessarily decluttering and getting rid of things, but it's actually how to stop bringing things into your own home. So I actually just want to start off with one quick statistic that I thought was really intriguing. And I'll read it off here, that the average person impulse buys $5,400 per year. That was mind-blowing to me. $5,400. Imagine what you could do with that rather than just having clutter in your house. So with that, I want to talk today about how you guys can stop impulse buying and have less clutter in your home. All right, so the very first thing is shop with intention. So this kind of goes off that intentional living, but shop with intention too. So when you go to the grocery store, actually make a list. Don't just like walk up and down every single aisle and be like, oh, this looks good. Oh, that looks good. And pull 47 things that you don't need off the shelf. Same with when you go to Target and you have that list of 3 items. Stick to that list of 3 items that you need. Don't buy the whole entire store. So now that kind of leads me to my next tip of don't shop out of boredom. Don't just go into a store and be like, oh, I'm gonna window shop. We know that never works. So make sure that you go in, make sure you shop with that intent and not just shop out of boredom, or don't just window shop. The next one kind of goes on this same realm of shop with intention, but do not do retail therapy. Just because maybe you're upset about something and you think maybe that cute new outfit will make you feel better, don't do that. Shop with intent and say, okay, I'm only going to buy certain things. Now, if you need a new outfit and maybe you've gotten rid of some things, and that's actually something I talk about in some of my previous videos, where if you get rid of one thing, we'll actually get rid of like 2, 3, and then you're allowed to bring one more thing in. So if you want that new outfit, that's fine, but go ahead and purge 2, 3, 4 things from your closet first before you go ahead and bring that new item in. All right, so now the next one is when you're doing online shopping, don't make an account on any of the platforms, because then that actually allows you to have to get up, get your credit card. Now, I know there's so many instances where I've heard people say like, I didn't buy it because I didn't want to get up and get my credit card. I was too lazy. So that's a great way, if you're that type of person, to say, okay, I'm not going to buy this because it takes too much effort to actually go get your credit card, put in your information, and then go ahead and purchase that item. All right, now the next tip is to sleep on decisions. Specifically, obviously shopping decisions, since that's what we're talking about, but honestly, just decisions overall. So let's say you want to buy an item, but you're not sure if you're going to regret it in maybe a couple days, couple weeks, a couple years, and that item's just could be sitting on your shelf absolutely useless. Well, then you know what? If let's say you want that item, wait 2, 3, 4, maybe a week. I don't know, 2 weeks. Just set that benchmark for yourself so then you could go ahead and say, okay, if I still want it at that time, then it's okay, I can go and purchase that item. Now, I specifically suggest this for over like $100 items or $50 items. Set that benchmark. Obviously, if you're at the grocery store and it's just something really quick, sure, maybe don't sleep on it. Don't be like, oh, okay, I'm gonna sleep on that bag of chips if I still want it in a week. Obviously, things like that, differ, but if it's kind of a big purchase item, definitely sleep on that decision before you go and waste your money when it's just going to be sitting in the closet later on. Next tip is do not join any mailing lists. So I know sometimes we get those like subscriptions coming to our email where it's like, oh, $100 off of this, $10 off this, 30% off. But now that's going to make you more inclined because you're gonna be like, oh, it's on sale. Let's go ahead and purchase something now. But if you didn't get that notification, you wouldn't even know it was on sale and you wouldn't even know what you were missing. So don't sign up for them. Also, it's another way to kind of implement that minimalism in your life and not have a super cluttered inbox. So I suggest that even if you're not trying to save money and you're not trying to not do that like impulse buying and stuff. But I think it's a really good suggestion for just life in general, I guess I could say. Now, even when you're at the store, I suggest to look at reviews. Because if you're at the store and you're like, okay, I want to purchase this item, but you purchase it and then maybe it breaks a week later or something like that, you just wasted your money because you impulse bought and you're like, oh my God, I think this is a great decision. But instead of doing that, whether you're purchasing online or even in the store, go check the reviews online. Find that same item on Amazon or any other resource and see, okay, how many stars does it have? Now, I know we're super inclined to just look at the positives because we're like, oh, see, it has 100 5-star reviews, but it maybe has 10 negative ones. And you really need to look at those negative ones too, because if any one of those negative things are essentially what you don't like or what will hinder you from enjoying that item, then that tells that that's going to be sitting on your shelf later or under your bed or something like that, and you're not going to utilize it. It's just going to clutter up your house, and then you just wasted that money too. Now, another great tip is to actually set financial goals. Because if you know that you have a goal that you're shooting for and you're like, I want to pay off this debt, or I want to pay back that loan, or I want to pay off my house, or I just want to have an emergency fund. It can literally be something just as simple as that. But if you set that goal, then you'll want to strive and work towards that. So every time that you say, oh, I want to buy this item, you could just think to yourself and say, okay, if I don't buy this item, then I'm going to be this much closer to that goal. And having that goal set mentality in this or really anything is going to help you too. So just try to implement that goal-oriented mentality and say, if I don't do this, then I can get this, and this is even better than that. Now, if after all this you're still having a hard time and you think, okay, I'm still probably going to do those impulse buys, well, write a list. I encourage you right now, write a list of the top, 5, 10 impulse purchases that you bought and see if they're actually worth it. And you might notice that they're not actually worth it. So then in that case, you might start realizing, okay, I'm my own worst enemy. I've already done this. So maybe I shouldn't do this again. Maybe I shouldn't do that impulse buy again. So I suggest you to write that out. That's kind of another bonus tip that will help you not impulse buy by realizing your mistakes previously by impulse buying. And the very last one is kind of embrace this whole channel as well, is just start embracing the aspect of minimalism. Realizing how beautiful your house looks when it's clean, when there's not things sitting on the shelves or on your couch or really just anywhere, and realize that it's a beautiful space when it's clean and when it's organized and when it's decluttered. So always keep that in mind when you're trying to decide if you want to purchase an item too. And I think that along with all these other tips and tricks will really help you to stop impulse buying. So if this did help, definitely make sure to give it a like. Also, subscribe down below for more content like this. Also, comment down below if you're a new subscriber. I'd love to connect with my new subscribers too. And I'll see you guys in the next one. All right, bye guys.